Welcome to Shorty Supercoach. What's going on, guys? Brownlow multi-time. Look, Cats are in the grand final. Shorty's pumped. I don't know if I've got tickets yet. We'll find out. But in the essence of time, I'm going to Melbourne in about an hour. So, classically mistimed my run here. So, I'm going to have to do this relatively quickly. But a few people have asked about the Brownlow multi. I think it's from my success in the past. We've studied the Brownlow about 4 times now for a net return of $0. But I am feeling like this could be the year. So if you are interested in a bit of a flutter, feel free to follow along. Now, we crunch a few numbers across Betfair, across the AFL Brownlow Predictor, which hasn't loaded, or their coaches' votes. Anyway, you get my point. There's even got this one here. I'll review my Supercoach Week 3 in a sec. I've got this teacher games thing where we go to Melbourne. It's like schools versus schools. Play a bit of volleyball, a bit of pickleball, a bit of a social thing. So that should be a bit of fun, but I'll be back. I'll go live on Wednesday, but I just want to get this one out before the Brownlow, obviously. And basically, if we go through the clubs, now I'm not here to tell you how much to bet or what to bet. Do it responsibly. Do it within your means, right? But basically what I like to do is have a core group of clubs that I'm really confident on, build up a multi around them, and then add some value. Go the crazy ones, but odds are you're not going to pick 17 or 18 club winners. So have some legs that are 10, 12, 14. Even if you just, put $25 on the main one and maybe you net $100, because the core ones, you're not going to get much more than $5 for it. There isn't a stack of value. But what we're going to do is I'll go through the ones. I think I had 11 that I was really, really keen on. Feel like they're locks. And they are Brisbane, McCluggage to get it done, Merritt to get it done for Essendon, Sarong over Brayshaw, Smith to take it out there, Tom Green to win the Giants, Newcomb, Max Gawn, Zach Butters, Tim Taranto, Isaac Heaney, Marcus Bontempelli. So those legs, depending where you want to throw your cash out, they'll get you anywhere from $4.50 to $5. So feel free to throw any of those in there. I think they're the most lockable ones, right? But we've got to find some value, okay? So on your next layer of confidence, I'm relatively confident in Noah Anderson taking it out for Raul. Now, look, Raul had a great finish to the year, and I feel like he's a big sort of polling type of guy. I feel like the umpires will notice him. Look at this finish. I think Raul will poll seriously well, but I think Anderson is a bit undersold. I feel like he's a genuine chance to be in the mix for the top 3. So he's about $1.50. If you're worried about Raul, feel free to leave him out or just throw him in sometimes. You don't have to go for absolutely every multi for the same, because if one leg fails and you've got him in every single one, you're cooked. So try and spread that risk around a bit. Now, the next one is Tristan Cherry. I feel like he is the clear one, and he's a bit short for me. I think he's about $1.25, and I suppose the worry here is that he's a ruckman, and he had a fantastic year last year or whenever it was, and he polled 1 Brownlow vote. So is he just not a poller, or has it taken the umpires a year to sort of recognise? Sometimes there is that lag period. I don't know why. For some players, they just seem to poll. Others seem to not quite catch the eye. But I feel like the big fella Cherry, getting 10 clearances a game, wearing a helmet, surely has to catch the eye. So he's the next guy you could put in, and I feel relatively confident with those. But chop and change whichever way you would like to go. Now, in terms of some value, right? And we've got a bit of a range of values out there. I do have one that's $5. It's for West Coast. If you can guess who it is, you'd be doing well. Feel free to get your guesses in. I'll tell you in a moment. The one that I'm next keenest on, and you can't just go all the favourites, right? You've got to pick a couple where you think the upset might happen. And for me, that is Riley Thilthorpe to knock off Isaac Rankin. So I've got them both polling 15 votes, and I just kind of, off the back of coaches' votes, 3 projectors, match reports, of course there's a hell of a lot of guesswork. But I do feel like Thilthorpe just has some games where he clunks heaps, kicks 5. he's got some clear 2 and 3 voters, where Rankin could poll 17 or 18 votes if he gets a couple of those ones and whatnot, but I feel like Thilthorpe had a lot more clear-cut games where he'll poll. So he's at $3 and the second favourite in the market without Dawson. Feel free to have a dabble at that if you like. Otherwise, I didn't really like... Cripps and Hewitt is a tough one. Like, Cripps is a noted poller. I had Hewitt out-polling him 13 votes to 12. Cripps will poll in a lot more games or have more games where he could poll. But Hewitt does probably... I've got him for like 3 best on grounds, 2 second best on grounds. So, felt like he definitely had the better year than Cripps. But as we know, last year, the umpires just seemed to feed Paddy votes. So, some players just seem to catch the eye. So, keep that in mind. But I don't really want to play in the Carlton market. Another market that is really, really tough is the Collingwood one. If I can find me numbers here, as I've got pieces of paper rolling absolutely everywhere. This is sort of what I do. But I've got Josh Dacos, 13 votes. Steele Sidebottom, 12. Jamie Elliott, 9. Again, Steele Sidebottom, started the year well. He's got some best on ground type of games. But I do feel like Josh Dacos will just get him done. But it's a risk. If you like him for a bit of value, feel free to go for it. St Kilda is a tough one. But I am feeling relatively confident with Jack Sinclair. He is the favourite, so you're not getting any value for that really. It's about $1.60, $1.70. McRae, of course, polls really well early, and there'll be some, like, these are the markets without Wanganeen Miller. A lot of the time they'll take out that clear favourite, and you'll play with the rest. So Rowan Marshall's probably in the mix too, but I've got Sinclair just getting it done. Now, so I've sort of covered it off. I'm happy, if you want the value, I'm happy to go with Thilthorpe here. In fact, this market has him beating Rankin, where I think in this one they've got... Oh no, Thilthorpe's got him there. So maybe there is some genuine value there, but I don't really want to play in Carlton. Collingwood is a very tight race, going Josh Dacos. Reasonable confidence on Anderson. Like I said, happy to go with Cherry, but note the way that he doesn't always poll. St Kilda without Wanganeen Miller, I'm happy to go with Sinclair, but note that McRae definitely polls very well early. So definitely got to keep that in mind. This one has McRae winning. Windhager will be an interesting one. Adam Cherra's an interesting one too in the Carlton one, whether he can upset a little bit and take some votes off those guys. But I do think the one I really want to talk about is West Coast. And it's Brady Hoff. Now, if you guessed Brady Hoff, well played. I doubt you did, right? Now, it seems crazy, but he is at $5. And I'm not saying chuck him into everything, right? But if you want to just really take that multi from $6 well up to the big double figures, this is the guy you could just include every now and then. Harley Reid, I've got a chance to poll him round 14, 18 and 19. I've got him polling 0, 1 and 1. 2 votes. Round 18, Wines might poll the 1. Harley could only poll 1. Who knows? Tim Kelly, I've got him potentially polling in 3 games. I've got him a 1, 0 and 1. Round 2, round 20, round 22. And even in round 22, he could potentially poll 2. I feel like Tim Kelly might be the risk. He could poll 3 or 4 votes. Liam Baker felt like he had the best year for West Coast. Doesn't traditionally poll amazing. I've only got him for 1 vote. Potentially polling in round 2, 9 and 16. Maybe he gets 2 1 voters, but I reckon he gets 1. Brady Hoff plays 1 game. 1 game in round 10. That he's... And I don't know if this bloke's ever polled a vote in his life. But he's polled this 1 game. 1 game here. It's round 10. Scores 112. 24 touches. All the match reports said, yep, he's the guy. Never polled a Brownlow vote in his life. But if we go all the way to round 10... down here. And often, when it says a 3, they're pretty confident. Brady Hoff. Where is he? Got him for the 1 vote. That didn't really back up my argument too well, did it? 3 here. And interestingly, he's got a 3 here. Big risk. I think I got timed out then. But Hoff has the 3 votes on this website. 3 votes here, and then they only give him the 1 here. very, very interesting. So that round 10 game, I've got him as the 3 votes, and then they play St Kilda. I've got Hoff for the 3, Marshall for 2, Sinclair for 1. So it's going to be very interesting because Sinclair was very impressive. Marshall was huge, particularly in the first half. But yeah, West Coast didn't win many games. They won that one. Hoff, a very effective 24. I think he kicked a goal. Yeah, he did snag a goal, but bloke's never polled in his life. So if you want to try and beef up some numbers, he could be your guy. It's bloody risky, but you got to find some value somewhere. So there's a lot in that. I mean, I tend to just go the team by team. Who do I think's going to win the whole thing? I think it'll be Nick Dacos. I think Bailey Smith, Jordan Dawson, Noah Anderson, all very close. I reckon we could get a tie. But, yeah, you're not going to find much value in the outright winner. There's a lot of markets. There's a stack of markets you could put in. But I just like to go the team by team. I enjoy doing the research. It's a bit of fun. Hasn't been too fruitful recently. But, hey, you got to give it a crack. You got to try and find some value somewhere. So, like I said, build your core votes and your core locks, if you like, around those 10 or 11 clubs. And then just add a Thilthorpe, add a Hoff, take them out, then put a Sinclair in, and hey, put them all in. Put in Dacos, put in Anderson, put in Cherry. You build up a crazy multi. It'll come up winning $5,000. You probably won't win it, but look, try and have a few votes or a few different multis. Spread it across all your different combinations. And look, if one of the locks doesn't get up, who could ever predict it? I remember when Carl Amon came out and polled 17 votes. He wasn't predicted to poll any. So the crazy things happen on Brownlow night. That's why it's so bloody hard. It's why we get such good odds. But it's worth having a bit of fun. So I do like Thilthorpe for the value in terms of something a bit rough. Hoff's a bit random, but is $5. And then, yeah, otherwise I think I actually quite like Noah Anderson for $1.50 to sort of boost some of those odds. And most of those other lock guys will probably get you $1.20 or less. So they're not going to give you much. So you need to find some value somewhere. But I am going to, finish it up here. Get stuck into editing and then duck off to the train station because we've got to go in like 40 minutes. So thanks. Let me know how you're feeling about it. Let me know what you're going to chuck in. And if you got any roughies, whether it's for the outright or team by team, I'd love to hear it. Cheers, guys. Talk to you later.